All right, for Saturday gets started with Oklahoma State and Texas, 15-point spread. Make the case for me for Oklahoma State to like truly be in the game. I know Ollie Gordon is a finalist for the Doak Walker, and you feed him the football if you want to. I think that's a bad strategy with a more traditional running approach against that Texas defensive pair of tackles in particular. You've got to get outside on them, and I don't know if that's. It's a 15-point spread here. I don't know if Gordon could find space against those guys, but if he does, that is what could change the game.
That's exactly it. So I think the path to an Oklahoma State upset starts with the offensive line of Oklahoma State simply blocking Texas defensive front. Texas is giving up only about 85 rushing yards per game, 2.9 yards per carry. They've got two of the best tackles in the country. This is a tough matchup for Ollie Gordon. So if Oklahoma State is having success running the ball, we'll have a game. And Texas also, if they are kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns, we'll have a game. That's been a problem for Texas this year, finishing in the red zone. So if you're in the first half, if Ollie Gordon's over 100 yards and Oklahoma State is holding Texas to field goals, this is going to be a much closer game. I think the problem for Oklahoma State, though, is if you just look at the matchups, and outside of like a Mike Gundy special where they somehow, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Mike Gundy really wants to win this game and send Texas off to the SEC as a loser and not the Big 12 champion. But the matchups just don't favor Oklahoma State. I mean, Alan Bowman's having a nice season, but he's had 6 interceptions in his last 3 games. He's averaging 6.8 yards per attempt. The receivers for Oklahoma State are good. They can threaten a Texas secondary that has been a little shaky at times this year due to some injuries. Oklahoma State has won 4 of 7 games in the Big 12 this year by 1 score. So if they can just find a way to drag Texas into a close game, there's a chance they might be able to kind of pull off the upset. But you start looking, Texas defense is better offensively, the firepower, the ways that Texas can beat you. So this is a monumental task here for Oklahoma State. They've played spoiler all year, started 2-2, won 7 of 8. But this is I think this is one of a much tougher assignment for Mike Gundy's team.
I also think it helps Texas in a weird way that the games that could dictate if they're going to make the playoff or not are not until later on.
Right.
Like I think they go into it, for lack of a better cliche, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. I think they do, because they go into it knowing like, look, we got to go in there and dominate. We got to win. We got to be impressive. And it doesn't matter what happens later in the day between Alabama and Georgia or Florida State and Louisville. Like, it doesn't matter. We have to go out and be impressive and do it and win big. I'm not sure I'd touch the 15.5. That's a lot of points, but I think Texas wins big. I like Texas. I don't think this is just not a special Oklahoma State team. Give them a lot of credit for getting here, especially considering the start to the season. But I think Texas makes a statement here, because I actually do think, honestly, I think Alabama could lose and Texas could win and Texas could get in, and I think that would be the right thing to happen almost. Like, I think Texas has earned it.
Yeah, I think I like Texas straight up. The spread's a lot and a lot of points in a championship game. Yeah. We should note, too, I think big plays for Oklahoma State are going to be kind of crucial here, because Alan Bowman ranks at the bottom of the Big 12 and like big plays completion, good at the short stuff. I think they're going to need to hit on a few of those to win this game. I think, to your point, though, the game is early on Saturday. It's the first one. They win. They sit back and see what happens. I think that's a huge advantage for them. So I think Texas wins this one.
No distractions. Nobody else is playing at the same time. You haven't lost like one of those teams hasn't already clinched a spot. All you're going to know is that one of the Pac-12 teams is going to get in, but we already know that kind of probably anyway. So I think that's a good, clean mental space for Texas to be in. Hook 'em, baby.